Looking for Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins with fast delivery? IG Vault has the cheapest and most reliable coins on the market. Click the link in the description and use coupon code SPORTS for 6% off your order. Oh, what's up YouTube? It's Duke back here from sportsgamers.com. In today's Madden 21 tip, I'm going to break down the best route in the entire game. If you guys like to pass the ball, this is a must-have route in your offense. You can literally build your entire offense around this one route, and it's going to beat every defense out there from the blitz, man, zone, cover 2, cover 3, cover 4. It does not matter. This play and route is fire. So you can find this route from a few different plays. We're going to be in the Panthers playbook on offense here. We're going to be looking at this gun bunch offset. Now, I will say that you can find this play also in some playbooks with the regular bunch formation. I run the Jets playbook, and this route is in the Jets gun bunch as well. So it's not just gun bunch offset, but gun bunch has this route as well in most playbooks. I won't say every single one, but the majority of them, yes, you can find it. So the play I'm going to look at is going to be the smash return. Now, we're going to start with how to beat man-to-man. I'm going to go over all the meta defenses out there. We're going to start with cover 2 man from nickel 3-5 wide, and we're going to shade down, and then we're going to go from there. So guys, just as a reminder, if you're looking to get better at Madden 21, make sure you check out sportsgamers.com. I put all my schemes, offense and defense, up on sportsgamers.com. So if you're looking to win more games, you got to check us out. If you want to play like me and get better at the game, sportsgamers.com is the only place to be. Also, if you enjoy my YouTube content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We do gameplays and tips on a daily basis throughout the week. Drop us a like on this video. If we get 250 likes, I'll drop another money play from this formation. So, this is one of the best plays, honestly, in the entire game right now. This is a staple play amongst the pro players. So, defensively, what most people do is they're from this cover 2 man is they basically press and shade underneath, and then they'll most likely man the guy up on the running back, so then they can kind of just use this guy to do whatever they feel they need to do, right? So the setup for us offensively is very simple. You can send the running back out of the backfield, especially if you think they're in man. That's probably smart to do. Or you can block them if they're blitzing. It really doesn't matter. In this example, I'm going to send them on a wheel route. Then I like to streak the slot receiver. And finally, I like to go ahead and put this receiver that's on the outside of the bunch on a drag and motion them across the formation. Now, it's important to note that when running this play, you always want to have your bunch side of the formation on the wide side of the field. So that means here, since we're lined up on the left hash, we're going to make sure our bunch is on the right because the right side of the field is the wide side. So we motion this receiver on the drag across, snap it right when he gets past the tackle. So the first thing you're going to notice is this tight end route is going to beat man coverage pretty much every time. If you play Mutt, you're going to want your tight end to have at least 90 route running and have some speed. If you're playing regs, it doesn't make a huge difference. But also an ability, if you are playing Mutt, you can put on your tight end is you can do matchup nightmare or even route technician. You can see here with Waller, he only has 80, so it's not like he has extremely high, he doesn't really meet the threshold. But when you're playing regs, it's not a huge deal when you're playing regs because on regs, the defenses aren't going to be super good, so it's not as big of a deal. But let's just look at this again. You're going to see that this route against man coverage is going to pretty much be open every single time. You can throw it on the break. You can wait for it to get more open. Doesn't really matter. You can roll out. It's just an every time thing. Now, the reason why I do my hot routes like I do on this play, though, is because if they're playing zone, I need some other options. So we're going to get to zone in a second here, but see, this corner route right here, this is always going to beat man-to-man coverage. I already know this. So, even though, again, he doesn't have the route running I really want, because it's regs, it doesn't make a huge difference. And I'm able to pretty much get this catch in here every single time against man coverage. It is going to be effective. So, knowing this, we're going to be able to base our offense around this because I know this is going to beat man coverage. Now, at the same time, you do want some underneath reads. So if they do play zone or they maybe take it away with their user, you have other things to do. Now, before I move on to another defense, you guys need to note that this route to the outside receiver over here, square, the lone receiver, the dig, is unstoppable against man coverage too. This is should be probably your I would say your second best receiver in the spot, because you want to just throw a low ball right on the break like that, and you can get that dive, catch, or possession catch animation every single time. This route is really, really good because it's not your standard, 10-yard dig or in route. As you see here, it actually almost goes 20 yards. It goes a little bit past 15, and that's in an unstoppable area of the field to defend. You're not going to be able to defend that route at all. It goes too far down the field. So another defense people play a lot is this Mike Blitz, right? So with Mike Blitz, it looks something like this, to where, they shade over the top, they throw out some purples, then they use the middle of the field with this guy, or maybe they put him in a deep zone and use the guy in the running back, right? Well, again, we do the exact same setup where we wheel the running back, and if you have an ability on your running back or hot route master, you can just put him on a flat. Just basically, you want him going in the flat. We streak the slot, we drag this receiver, and we motion him across. This is going to still beat this type of defense, as you guys can see here. First of all, guys, another thing to note is the drag route, when you motion him, he beats man coverage too. And, he might not get you the most yardage, but he's definitely going to be a threat against man. The other thing about it is if they blitz you for man coverage, this is your hot read, and the running back too, because he'll just get open pretty quick like that. And, he's going to be an easy valve to beat man coverage, because when they press you, when you send him in motion, he won't get pressed even if they're trying to, when they don't shade up. Now, the other part about this play is, because of the shade up, you still can throw corner routes and in routes and all that at will, even if they do have purple zones. So here we got the purples, and you're going to see that the corner route, if it won't get over the top of those purples most of the time. And also, guys, this little dig route right here, again, that's an easy possession catch. Now, that time, he only ran it about 15 yards, and then he dove, so he only got probably about 12 yards out of the catch. But still, when you're running this route and it's breaking around 15-ish yards, maybe it was more like 14 or 13 right here, but still, I'd say 14. That is not guardable. Zones are not going to be in this area of field, and that's something they have to use every time. As you guys see right here, look what I mean. See how this corner route will eventually run by the purple zone? And that's a lot of it has to do with, even if they set their zone drops to say 20 or 25 of purples these days, purples just don't get out to the sideline. So if you just wait for him to run past him horizontally to the sideline, he's going to be open pretty much every single time, whether they do that or not. So again here, let's go to Mike Blitz. We're going to go ahead and make sure we shade up, do the purples. And you're going to notice here, same thing. We're going to go ahead and roll out. And you're going to see that when we roll out, we should get a throwing angle to where he's not going to be able to guard this corner out. As you guys can see here, what I mean. See how he just runs over the top of him? So it's on the sideline, easy catch. You also have the drag route coming open too with the motion. So you guys can see man coverage is not really going to be an option on this play, because you have three guys that are going to get open here. You got the corner, you got the drag, and then you got the dig. Now the other thing here is they can't press you with no safeties over the top, because if they do that, and he actually did try to press here, interesting. I thought I had shaded over the top, I must have forgot, but if you do that, if you have a fast receiver in the slot, he's going to get open on the streak, so they can't do that either. But the streak is mainly to beat zone coverage, as you guys are going to see here, but this route still whoops zone so effectively. Now let's just start with the standard defense a lot of people play, which is this Mike Blitz 3. This is cover 3 based zone. It's probably the most popular cover 3 in the game right now. It's extremely effective, but it's also easy for us to beat. So if you guys look here, this is going to be the defense a lot of people are going to use, and a lot of people will just blitz 5, or they'll put like a double Mabel type situation going on. So let's blitz 5 first. Again, you're going to see that, we can block the running back if necessary. We don't have to, but if they are blitzing, I would recommend blocking the running back. Same setup though with the motion, drag, and streak. You're going to see that this guy, he's going to eventually get past these purples. Bam, that's an easy dot on the sideline. Now, let's say that they use zone drops, and they put theirs for the purples on either 20 or 25. So if they do that, it still oftentimes can run by the purple, even at that depth. The thing is, though, if they do have that depth and they don't guard the flat, you're probably just going to want to throw it to the flat because obviously the drag that we motion across the field is going to get wide open. So here, if we do something like this, same defense as before, but we just change our zone drops this time. We're going to look to guard the middle of the field ourselves with our user. We're going to motion this guy across, do a streak in the slot. Now, watch the drag. So you guys can see here, that's an easy throw and catch. So the reason why we have this play set up the way we do is in case they play zone. Because you don't want to just have to throw to the corner every single play. The streak is basically 2 if they are in zone, occupy the deep zone. As you see here, makes Gilmore turn his back. Now, at this point, you either hit the corner or the drag. Here, yeah, if I rolled out, I could have eventually thrown it past the purple, but the drag was wide open, so I hit it. Now, if the user did guard the drag, if he came up with guard the drag, that's why you have the dig breaking back over the middle. So let me try to kind of show a good example of that. Let's say that they just have their user guarding the drag, and the easiest way I can do that is just man him up. Now, if we cannot throw the drag and the corner route, is taken away somewhat by the purples, that's when you just throw this route right here back over the middle. So the other thing that's interesting is this play if they try to do double Mabel. So as you guys know, double Mabel would look something like this, to where they put the blitzing outside linebackers in hard flats and have their purples on 20 or 25. That means that really they should be able to take away the drags and the flats on both sides of the field, and then also take away the corner route. But the interesting thing is, because we're motioning the drag across the field, he's actually going to get it open quickly over the middle. So even though they do have a hard flat, you guys can see, I can just throw that open over the middle, and if they don't user it, it's going to be there. So that's the good thing about motion the drag on this play. It's not like the typical flat that if you just throw a hard flat out there, it's guarded. It's a high-low read for the dig route over the middle, and also it interacts with the corner route. So it does two things for us. It helps with the corner route and it also helps with the dig. Because here, if they took their user to go guard my drag open over the middle, obviously I could throw the dig, but since they stay a little deeper, I can just throw the drag. Just to illustrate what I mean, watch this. So again, we're going to do the same defense, double Mabel. We're going to go ahead and do 2 hard flats by our blitzing outside linebackers. And then also, we're going to just user this guy right here. Now this time, I'm going to look to take away the drag with my user, because, obviously I just saw that, that was able to get open. And if you do that, bam, see what I mean? The dig is wide open. The other thing about this is, though, as I mentioned, if they're going to play this type of defense, double Mabel and only rush 2 or 3, the thing is, you can easily throw corner routes. Because if you roll out, you're going to get an animation to where the corner route is just going to eventually run past the purple, because again, purple zones, they just don't really do that great of a job guarding corner routes on the sidelines. Even if they're set at the depth, they just get ran by at this point in the game. Now, what I would do if you're going to roll out is make sure you double team the edge rusher on the side you want to roll out to make sure you can get a good rollout. Clean pocket. So here you guys can see what I mean? It just eventually runs right by that purple, and you can possession catch it on the sideline. The reason for that is, like I said, purple zones lately, they just don't, even at high zone drop depths, they don't really get to the sideline. Like they just basically stay too stuck in the middle of the field, especially if you roll out. That's an all-day type of thing. Now, this play is also extremely effective against other zones too. I know that's the most common zone in the game right now, but if they do play like a cover 2 look, this play actually destroys that just as well. Again, we're just going to streak the slot receiver. We can do a wheel route if we need to, but if they're blitzing, we can block him. And then we just do a motion drag. So the thing here is with their zone drops, if they just leave them on default, you guys are going to see that obviously the drag route is going to get good yardage. And this is what I love about this play, is when you motion the drag, it's not your typical flat. Like your typical flat against a standard cloud flat with no zone drop might get you 5-10 yards at the most. But here, you guys can see here, we get a ton of yardage. The other thing I want you guys to know is same thing as I mentioned last time. If you roll out with the quarterback against cover 2, you're going to notice that unless they have their zone drop set to like Narnia, super, super far back, like a lot of people do. I mean, obviously, if they set them at 30, it's going to take a little bit longer to run past the cover 2. But, you're going to be able to roll out and throw it past the cloud flat, basically. Same way as I threw it past the purple. if you just roll out, eventually you're going to see what I mean? He stops covering him. I know we got hit as we threw, but we were able to catch that at the sideline, even though we got to throw out a sack animation. So that is important to note. The other thing is, obviously, this is probably going to be their user in the middle of the field. So same thing. You just watch with their user. If they guard the drag, if they guard the dig, what do they do? So if they're going to come up on this drag route, obviously I can just throw in that soft spot that they're vacating with my little in-dig type route. Last thing I want to mention about this play is I kind of already did, but if they just all-out blitz you like this and maybe they try to use a rush, make sure you just block your running back. That way they won't be able to get in on the user rush, and you can just throw the corner out and the drag basically pretty quickly against the blitz, so they shouldn't be able to get in anyways, even if they do that. The Mike Blitz is definitely a very popular manual rush play. We're actually going to look at that right here one time, and then we'll be done. But again, let's say that they try to manually rush. I can't really do that, obviously, because I'm doing offense right now. But assume they try to manually rush. If you block your running back, and then if you really want to, you can ID the manually rusher. You're going to notice that, again, you can just throw this corner out off the break as well as the drag quickly, and you're going to get big yardage against man coverage. You might even have time for the dig too, but I would mostly look for the drag and corner against the man-to-man blitz. Should be open every single time. So this might be not only the best route in the game right now, but this play is definitely one of the best plays in the game right now too, because of the other options you have. That dig route is super, super underrated because it just gets in a spot of the field that not only does it beat man, but zones do not cover it either unless you manually watch it. So, hope you guys enjoyed this tip. Stay tuned for more. Give us a like on the video if you did enjoy this content. Until next time, it's Duke, and I'm out of here.